Let's start with the men. What do you think the men are focusing on that you think isn't helping them? And then we'll go to the women.
I think naturally, men, a lot of us, let's be honest, a lot of us are very physically driven. So
Yes.
I think with a lot of men, initially, we're kind of like, oh, I want a girl with a beautiful body and and then sometimes that leaves you open to dropping the ball on a lot of other things that you should pay attention to.
Very true.
Because those things are very distracting.
Yes.
But it's difficult though, because men are we're physically drawn to a lot of women.
Men are very visual.
Yeah, we're very, very visual. So what was the question again? What
do you think men focus on that doesn't serve them to have that genuine connection and relationship? Would they focus on too much, I guess?
Yeah, I think, and also as well, I think there's an onus of, and I want to start doing this myself. When you actually meet someone, I feel that, there shouldn't always be a hurry to see them in person straight away. Sometimes, yes. But I think sometimes to just develop the consistency of communication first, right? Doesn't have to be a long time. It can just be a week, right? So if you're speaking to a girl, or you're texting or you're voice noting in 7 days, you kind of do it, you're communicating 4 days out of the 7, and it's quite a lot of communication. To me, that's a good thing. Because I think that it's good to build up the communication first, because then that shows me personally the sustainability of that person and how they value me. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Whereas sometimes we want things straight away. We want to see the guy, we want to do this and we want to do that. And I think often women, that kind of puts them off a little bit.
Yes.
Because they're met with that every single day.
Every
single woman that I know, that I've ever met, I'll probably say, has always got someone that's speaking to them.
Yeah.
When girls tell you, I'm not talking to no one. Yeah, you are.
There's someone.
There's always somebody.
There's someone. Even if it's not the guy that she wants, there's someone giving her attention she's indulging in that, in talking to them.
What have I learned? Okay, I've learned that directness is very important. I mean, that's one of my character traits now that I've developed over the years.
Right.
I am extremely direct.
Okay.
And I find that when I am direct, it almost attracts women a lot more.
Give us an example.
So, for example, I would make, say for example, I'm on an app and I meet a girl, and she says, "What am I looking for?" And I usually kind of meet her with the answer of, well, the first thing I want to do is I want to see how good you are communicating. So we'll exchange numbers and we'll have a chat. And then maybe after the first couple of conversations, I'll be like, right, I want to see you. So then, and they're like, oh, but they want to talk a bit more. I think we've spoken. I now actually want to see you physically.
And taking the lead.
Yeah.
Taking the lead.
And I never judge the first time that I meet somebody, actually, because the first time you meet somebody, there's always anticipation.
Yes.
I judge whether you see that person a third time and a fourth time.
Facts.
First time is easy.
Yes.
If this girl's willing to see you another 2 or 3 times in the space of maybe a couple of weeks, that's potential.
Yes.
But most of the time, I don't happen.
Yeah.
Most of the time, after the first date, that's when you start thinking, okay, the calls take longer to get replied, and then the messages are looked but never replied.
Right.
And that's totally fine.
Yeah.
We go through that as men. Doesn't matter what you look like as a man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like you're gonna have, even if you're the guy who ticks all the boxes, right? Like you're, stereotypically what women say they want. You're above 6 foot, earning good money, attractive, all of this stuff. You're gonna win some and lose some.
Oh yeah.
Because you're not everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah.
So for the women, what do you think women are focusing on too much that's not serving them for finding the relationship they want?
I think they need to learn a bit more about men. I think we know more about women than they know about us, purely because
we have to.
Yeah, exactly.
we have to.
We have to. Otherwise, it's just gonna be you and the Vaseline.
That's it, boy.
That's a lonely experience.
You and the Vaseline Saturday night. That's it.
Do you get me? So
yes.
I think, I think sometimes women just have this broad opinion of what men are like. And sometimes it's based on anecdotal experiences.
Yes.
Which I understand. But I think sometimes just taking time out to really communicate more with certain guys, watch a lot of podcasts, even if you don't kind of necessarily agree with what the guys are talking about. That's a platform where a lot of guys are expressing themselves very honestly.
Like this one.
Yeah, exactly. So I think if you watch a lot of podcasts and really have an objective view,
Yes.
then you might kind of start understanding, oh, so this is the kind of guy that I should be going for and stuff. Whereas I feel that women have a long way to go. Not all women, but some have a way to go to really understanding the real dynamics of what a man's thought process is.
Yes.
Where we kind of know a lot more about what theirs are because we're the ones that are doing most of the pursuing and the persisting.
Exactly.
Now, I think that's a Western thing though, predominantly. Because when I go to places like Africa and Asia, the mentality is very different.
It is so different abroad. I've noticed that as well. And I was going to ask, because I know you said that you've, you know, like you said, you've traveled a lot, right? You're very well versed, very globally traveled. So what have you noticed with maybe culturally, either dating or women in different cultures around the world? Stuff that you like, oh wow, I've never had that before and I love that, or I've never had this before, I don't know if that's for me. Like, what's your experience with that been like?
If you're loving this episode and these kinds of conversations, then I want to give you something. We recently launched the Kits Angels community. This is a sisterhood for women who are tired of what the dating scene has given them and are ready to take their love lives to the next level. It's a space for you as a woman to not be alone in your journey to love, where we learn, talk, and share our experiences as part of a strong sisterhood, with some leadership and guidance from yours truly, of course. Not to mention never before seen videos from me on how I've led dozens of women to meeting great men. And so as a thank you for watching this episode, I'm giving you a month's membership completely complimentary on me. Just click the Kits Angels link below, and when you join the group, message me the code phrase Angels Podcast and I will pay for your membership. Now back to the episode.
I always say, if you're a man and you have a love for African women, I will probably say you should go to a place like South Africa, for example. You know, for obvious reasons.
I agree.
But what I would say about South African women, I mean, if I'm using an example, is they're ultra confident. If they want something, they go for it.
They go for
it.
Yes.
And it's not like they'll come up to you and necessarily talk to you and kind of do all of that, but they will just look at you. I always say to men, if a woman looks at you for more than 2 seconds, she's interested in you, innit? That's quite kind of like their way of saying, right, you can come and approach me.
Exactly.
You know? And I love the personality that they have. I love the femininity that they have. I love the fact that they're so selfless. Some of them are extraordinarily beautiful and they don't even know how gorgeous they are.
Big facts.
And they're not all up in their heads.
Yes.
And men find that very attractive.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
That definitely resonates with me. I did this job. I'm not going to say what job it was in case people
tell everybody.
Check what it was. But I did this job one time. I was doing this show, and one of the other girls in the cast was South African, and this show was only on for a few months, and so some of the cast was South African. They'd only come over to do this show for a few months, so we already knew, like, you know, and there was an interest there. Very beautiful young woman. There was interest there, and you know, we knew that there wasn't longevity. Right, we knew it was just going to be for the time because she was going to go back and we weren't going to do this long distance thing. So, you know, we started seeing each other, you know, started having fun. Man, when I tell you, when I would stay over, wake up, full breakfast every morning, she'd offer to wash my clothes. Right, when we would go out, right, even though we're not technically together, right, she will come, she'll grab my hand if she thought some other girl was looking. Right, she's like, no, he's mine. And low key, I was like, yeah, I kind of like this. Because that was the first time as well for me that I had felt a girl, this was several years ago, but a girl be really territorial. Because typically, we see the guys being super territorial, right? But she was like, no, I know what I want. And this is the person I want. So while I'm here, he belongs to me. And just I'd never had this experience of just a woman just being like, she'd be like, oh, if you want to come over, do you know what I mean? You can relax. I'll run you a bath and everything. I was like, who is this woman?
I'm telling you. And really and truly, if you care about somebody, those things are normal. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And it's all about, you know, they just kind of, and there's many other examples, but I use South Africa because I'm very used to that land. I've been to all of the major cities there. I've performed stand-up there. I have loads of friends there. So I'm very acclimatized to that country.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just find that the level of confidence, knowing what they want as well, having the ability to really make it be known, I think is very, very sexy, because I feel that in the West, a lot of the onus is put on women, which is not a bad thing. But I think sometimes there's some women who can't handle that and they become very egotistical. And it's kind of like, I think it's kind of good to have an ego in a sense, because it kind of gives you an element of self-worth.
Yes.
But at the same time, I do feel that the way you get your opportunities is just by being open and making a man know what it is that you're looking for.
Yes.
Because we find that men find the simple things attractive. We're not complicated.
So true.
Hope you really enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full episode where that clip is from, then I want you to click right here where you can watch the full episode. And if you're ready to claim your man today, enroll in my program below, and I'll see you there. Wishing you an amazing day.